Hey, people of YouTube, it's your girl. I am Reflections of My Evolution, and I have a message for you guys today. Um, you are waking up for a reason, and if you found me, by whatever means, it means that you are definitely starting to experience an awakening and reaching higher levels of consciousness. What I am going to talk about today is probably going to fuck with your noodle a bit. um, Noodles is what I'm referring to as your brain, by the way. I am sure you notice I am a little unusual, a little bit different next to most people you know about or maybe see because of my talks with you guys. But it's okay. This collaboration with these powerful forces has made me feel comfortable with embracing my individuality. I feel no disgrace for my difference. I actually quite enjoy it. Okay, let me get into the reason why I am here today and what this download is about. There are many levels here in this simulation, and every level you complete will open you to another because this is a game just like any other game you play, like on your PC or on your cell phone. This talk is all about self-control. And self-control is not something that comes easy. It takes some practice, to gain this skill and to make it work in your favor. What kind of self-control, you guys might be wondering, is it that I'm talking about? The kind that you need to have when you see things are not going your way. The mind is like a muscle, and keeping awareness of your thoughts and how you are thinking is a movement, like an exercise. Your mind is a muscle that will continue to get stronger, especially the more you take control over it by customizing your thoughts and perceptions. As this download came in, I noticed that this one is for you guys. The people out there, the ones that are struggling with and having a hard time with accepting that you are what you think of yourself. And your simulated world will reflect that back to you. You will see it shown in what you see out here. This simulated human life game requires you to open your mind, like when a flower is about to bud, because literally this is what happens to your mind as you evolve, as you grow into your highest version of self. The end goal of all of this is to reach a very strong level of self-mastery. If the 3D still gets to you or causes you to emotionally react when you happen to see something that you don't like, the answer is simple. You are still holding an attachment to your 3D. Every time you look at your 3D, it is already your past. So don't be so attached to it or take it as real, or even take anything that you see in your 3D as being personal. I know that sounds easier when I say it, and it might not be easy for you guys to still get this down, and I understand that. But I'm going to keep repeating this over and over again for your own benefit, okay, until you get sick of me. But at least I know your subconscious is being wired with something that's going to benefit you at some point. Remember, there are better times coming ahead, especially if you have been actively changing the way you think and perceive things around you. Inside of this download is to help you reach a place where you are no longer controlled by your unconscious patterns of your past, Instead, you reach the level of becoming the master. Um, this has always been your position, you know, your destiny, to be the master of your own mind and not a slave to your old programming or your old conditioning. This simulated life game is as real as it gets. Everything here feels and looks very real until your mind starts opening up and evolving. When this happens, you get to see what this is really all about. And you have been playing inside of this whole time since you birthed yourself into your own simulation. It's been a minute since I've reinforced something important that is part of this simulated game. The people that you see around you in your simulated human experience are basically the cast or characters in your movie. Each and every person you encounter is playing a role out for you, whether you catch on to it right away or if it takes you some time. You're going to eventually come to the point where you're going to notice every person in your life is playing some type of script for you. Once you master this, knowing this knowledge, your life is going to become much more peaceful. And you will stop hating others or disliking people when they play a role or act out a script that is unkind or even mean towards you. The people in your simulation, whether you have them in your active orbit or not, they serve to always be your mirrors. Every single person is reflecting something about you, no matter how small this may be. This part is where it gets tricky for most. And I fell for this myself too, because it took me some time to figure this out. Because the older versions of me were very passive aggressive. I used to be the kind of person that was operating at a very low level of consciousness. I'd say pretty much non-existent from the way my behavior was in the past. I walked around always feeling like a victim or in a victim state of mind, with a chip always on my shoulder and always expecting the worst out of people. I always also used to complain and bitch about everything that went wrong. And I would talk to anyone who would be willing to waste that time sitting down with me and listen to me complaining about something that I can change on my own. So yeah, that's just to give you a little taste of how I used to be for a very long time when I was unconscious. Okay. This is where self-control is the most important skill to master. This virtual reality has a very realistic appearance to it. So there's going to be moments, you know, depending on your own level of consciousness, where there could be confrontations and disagreements, right, between people that can play out in your simulation. This, of course, really depends on the workings of your mind and your level of consciousness, or what may be referred to as your vibration. You know, if you tend to be hostile, or if you have a tendency to take things personally very easily, then these things might play out for you in your experience. But I just wanted to remind you guys, no matter how unpleasant an interaction may play out for you with another character or another person out there in your simulation, it's shaping you. And believe it or not, every experience, especially the ones that, the bad ones, they make you that much stronger. You are the walking simulation, by the way. You are the simulation itself. So this is your own personalized world. So everything that happens here plays out for you, and it's catered 100% only to you. And that includes the good shit and also the bad shit. At the very beginning, based on how you think, what your thought patterns are, how you perceive your life experience, all of this is going to determine what you project out into your world. Many of you, unfortunately, are too busy being angry or hurt, or even too busy, feeling like a victim, because that's a real thing. Victim state is a real thing. You could look that up if you want to. And even though this is only a reflection in the 3D, when you look at Google or you search this, you're still going to get a definition that matches what I just spoke about. The old three-dimensional world has a very special way of doing this to you when you're still very much unconscious, to feel like a victim. Because you are highly vulnerable when you are unconscious, and you are very easily influenced by those people that you're closest to or you're always constantly around. Every one of you is a product of your conditioning patterns, by the way. So getting to know yourself is a big necessity at winning in this game. Don't try to hide things about yourself or to be in denial. Evolving and choosing to become a better version of yourself requires you to be open and honest, especially with yourself. Get to know even the deepest and darkest places of yourself, the stuff you wouldn't even be brave enough to tell others about. You gotta dig deep if you want to evolve beyond the version of who you are right now. Of course, all of this is really your own personal choice. Do you like what you see that plays out in your simulated reality? Are you excited about your reoccurring experiences? The stuff that seems to repeat itself over and over in patterns, no matter who you meet or what you do. If you don't notice yet that you are repeating negative patterns or are able to detect toxic repetitive cycles, this simply means that you are still in a state of being unaware. And you should never feel bad for that, because all of us were unconscious at one point, including myself. When we are unconscious, we repeat behaviors, actions, and even toxic cycles of pain and suffering. But the difference is that when you're unconscious, you don't know that you're doing this. When you are at lower levels of consciousness, you can't detect your patterns or even be aware of them. The reason for this download, and why I speak about this in particular, is because, the older versions of who I used to be, I used to repeat really bad stuff over and over that was harmful to me. And I couldn't see that I was doing this. I couldn't get myself to stop until my mind started changing and I became conscious of my actions and my behaviors. Whether you know this or not, you are always projecting your internal world, what's going on inside of your mind, by your behaviors and also by your actions. Toxic patterns can be very deceitful, and sometimes they will mask themselves as being helpful. Your unconscious patterns, your mind is very powerful, and it even could get you to buy into being fooled that you are doing something or handling something in a way that is correct, when all you really want is to feel that you are right, that you're the one who is right and not the other person. And by that, making you feeling better about it. Your mind and what's inside of it has the power to make you, go through life in an easy way or in a very hurtful way. So your mind has the power to make your life easy or super hard. And that choice, is up to you if you want to change the way that you think. Because the way that you think is going to change the way your life happens. Well, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and go. Thanks for coming back just wanted to, guys, to let you know that your presence is always appreciated here. I just wanted to let you know that. Until next time, the universe always guides me back. So I will see you soon. And remember this: live free. Bye.